Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the Algebra 1 concept of linear equations and the distributive property. This is standard A.5A in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 52 off the 2016 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we need to find the solution here. There's only one variable, but it's on both sides of the equation. So we need to use this strategy here. Don't call me after midnight. These are the 5 steps here for solving. The first step is going to be distribute. And we're going to notice that the x is inside these parentheses and it needs to be distributed on both sides. So let's rewrite this so that we can distribute this. What that means is that 0.3 needs to be multiplied to both the 12x and the negative 16. So we can rewrite it like this. 0.3 times the 12x minus, and then it's the 0.3 times the 16. It is a negative 16, but I put the negative right there to make it a minus. So that's really what that distributive property does. Same thing over here. I can take my 0.4 and I'm going to multiply it by each term inside. 0.4 times 12 minus 0.4 times 3x. Okay, so we need to now just kind of multiply and simplify that. So let's get our calculators out. All right, so 0.3 times 12x is going to be 3.6x minus, now we need a 0.3 times 16, 4.8. A lot of decimals in this one. And then we've got 0.4 times 12. Right, that's going to be 4.8. And then minus 0.4 times 3x. That's 1.2x. Now what we would need to do here is combine like terms. We don't necessarily have any like terms on either side. We have either a variable or we have a constant on either side, so we won't necessarily need to combine. It's this third step. That's when things start happening, is when we start moving. We want to get the x's on one side and we want it to be positive. So I've got a 3x on one side, a negative 1.2x on the other side. I'm going to add 1.2x to both sides. Because if I do that, that cancels out. And now I've got my 1.2x over here. So I'm going to get 4.8x minus that 4.8 that's still sitting there equals 4.8. Lots of 4.8s. Now I either need to isolate the variable completely. I first add or subtract, because that's the weaker of the two operations. So I'm going to add 4.8 to both sides. Whatever you do on one side, you need to do on the other side to keep the equation balanced. That's going to be 4.8x equals, and that's just going to be 9.6. Now we can either multiply or divide. Typically it's a divide because you've got a coefficient there. And so we're going to divide both sides by 4.8, and hopefully you're noticing, yeah, that's just double. So we're going to say x equals 2. Now that is an answer selection. How do we test that? Well, we plug it back in, right? So we say 0.3, 12x, we say x is 2, minus 16 equals 0.4, 12 minus 3x, and x is 2. So what does that really mean? We've got 0.3, and that's 24 minus 16, equals 0.4 times 12 minus 6. So that's 0.3 times 8 equals 0.4 times 6. So get the calculators back out. 0.3 times 8, 2.4. And what do you think 0.4 times 6 equals? 2.4. So that balances out. True equation, so we can say that x equals 2, and our answer here is H.